Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Salutations to all the holy masters. Pranams to you all. When we come to this world, we don't bring anything. The factors by which we exist ourselves and the factors by which our life is made comfortable. All these two are coming from not us, from outside. Mother Nature and the society takes care of all our requirements. We need air to breathe, water to drink, earth to exist, space to move about, the 98.4 degree temperature to keep us alive. We need sun, we need trees, we need rain, we need metals, minerals, gases. All these things are provided by pulses, vegetables, fruits. All these things are provided by Mother Nature. We have not brought anything. Whatever creature comfort by which we are comfortable now, right from the specs, right from the dress, right from the building, structure, brush, paste, soap, wash basin, commode, eatables, anything, the language. Everything is a gift of society. Though behind Mother Nature and behind society, it is that subtle and mysterious power whom we call as God. That is the articulating, the pulsating, the substratum force. So first of all, we try to understand what that power is. It is that power because of which now the words are now coming out. It is because of the power by which you are now here. You can hear, you can see, you feel you are sitting here, which is called the life force. This subtle and mysterious power expresses in the form of life force, in the form of consciousness or awareness, in the form of intelligence. All creature comforts have come from intelligence, When the voice is to be amplified, somebody started thinking, and that is why the mic is there. When there is no specs in the world, somebody was made to think about something by which we can improve our eye vision. Like that, anything, books, anything, water bottle, chappal. But this power has not given us anything directly to us. This power has given only through its creation. So at the outset we know that this power becomes expressive through its creation only. So to love this creation is to love Him, to serve His creation is to serve Him. We are all intertwined, interdependent, interrelated. Though we use everything, the specs, the dress, we don't know. The Mahatma through whom which that power, the Atman, the Brahman, the Almighty Lord of the universe, chose to bring it out. But we are all enjoying, For example, every day morning we may be taking the brush. It was brought into existence through a doctor in the United States in 1700s. Like that, if we start researching into anything that makes our life comfortable, we will know it has come to us through His creation. So we owe everything to His creation. This is the fundamental thing which all of us have to keep on thinking. Now we went to Statue of Unity. Wonderful. Inconceivable. about 15 years back, we cannot think about it. But the intelligence, and because of that intelligence that struck in the form of a concept, and then how it became an actuality. We salute before every such creation. No? We all remember with gratitude how revered Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel contributed for the unification of the entire India. We still remember the days. If you remember it, it was in 1950. We were all children at that time. When he passed away, our teacher said, you should all go in a procession wearing a black small thing. Because Gandhian thoughts was prevalent, Gandhian leaders were respected, revered by everyone in the society. So today when we were there and standing before that statue, we were remembering outstanding performance of all his creations. He selects through whom it should be delivered. But ultimately it is delivered through a creation. So the first and foremost thing is we have to develop a harmonious relationship with our co-creation, which is what is called values. Values are nothing but by which we knit ourselves, We extend ourselves, duly recognizing their relevance. Not a superficial hello, no. We mean, if today we are eating, it has been produced by a farmer. The processing has taken place through so many hands, and that is why it is there before me in my plate. If today we are sitting in the college or in faculty, it is because of the labor of love of so many people. No? Right from the person who conceived the language, A to Z. That simple 26 words, and the combination of words give wonderful meaning. A and B and C may be innocent, but when it is all joined together, what a tremendous message it gives to the entire globe. So right from anywhere, when you take up the text, when you say the faculty, the concept of university, the concept of syllabus, the concept of curriculum, concept of teachers, concept of teachers training, it has all come out because of to establish our harmonious relationship with everybody. Many a times we feel Mother Nature has given so many bounteous gifts to the society, but it is through a human being that it is recognized, its relevance is made known, and then by permutation, combination, by so many things, researchers, so many things have been brought out. So we all owe to that power through his creation. And if this wells up in our mind, it expresses in the form of human values. During our freedom movement, Mahatma Ji brought in these human values also along with the freedom movement. So if we go back to those era, we find generally the society was well informed of this or conscious of these human values. So when our constitution was drafted, they took it as granted that there is no need to mention specific about values, specific about duties, because that has become a part of our Hindu society, Indian society. But later on, when the Gandhian era was slowly fading from the scene and a new generation was slowly taking up, by 60s or mid-60s or late 60s, unknowingly the aberration started welling up, and by 70s the well-meaning people thought it is high time we introduce fundamental duties in the Constitution of India. Till such time there was no explicit word called duties. Not that they did not mean it. They took it as granted. There was no need. Parents were leading a righteous life. The life of the parents were the textbook for the children, first textbook. And the teacher relationship, we all still remember. If a teacher comes, of course he can't come, there will be no more. We cannot sit like that. That was the relationship we had. Even today we remember many of the things they taught to us. Our SSLC period was 58-59. 62 years have gone, still 63. Even today we remember our teachers. So the culture that we had on those days, it has started slowly fading. Meaning what? People have started thinking more and more of me and mine instead of we and us. Values are nothing but expression of me to we. But nowadays, unknowingly, unwittingly, not that anybody meant anything bad, it became concentrated, focused on me to me. Even a parent wants their child to study well, no? Take 90 plus, 90 plus, 90 plus. Then what? Then only you will get the admission in the next college. And then you need a placement. Again, me to me, me to me. And then you have a good job, settle down, have a good partner in your life. And then you should have a house of your own. All other facilities should be there one by one. Never we have been told that we owe everything to this society. We owe everything to this Mother Nature. So that is how the aberration started coming, dilution started coming out. So by late 70s, the well-meaning people were able to impress upon the then government and brought out this 51A, in Constitution. 11 fundamental duties with all good intentions, and it is superb by itself. Unfortunately, though it was passed, nobody knew. So sometime during 80s, a high-powered committee was appointed under the chairmanship of Justice Mehta, and later on by Justice M.N. Venkatachalam, who was the Chief Justice of India. And they made an elaborate report in which they recommended that unless this is introduced at the teachers' training level, unless this is introduced from the high schools and then colleges, this will not have any impact on the society. And this is the need of the hour. Elaborate, we don't have much time. Previously we thought we would display it. Because when we go through that, we will see the intensity of their intention to somehow give thrust to these values in the form of fundamental duties. So when the government, it was kept in cold storage, and again when it was taken up, all that the next succeeding government did was to paste these values on the textbooks. But when we had a lot of interactions with teachers and students, to be very frank, many of the teachers have not even understood what exactly is pasted on the first page. There was no awareness campaign. In fact, when the high-powered committee recommended, they have even given specific suggestions, not superficial suggestions. In what all ways this can be made known to the student community, the teaching community, and then to the society in large through their parents. Because duties are not to be limited to any particular segment. Duty of a student toward the teacher, student of the teacher toward the student, duty of the doctor toward the patient, duty of the patient toward the doctor, duty of the lawyer toward the clients, duty of the clients toward the lawyer. Like that, in every profession we can find. Duty of the father, parents to the children, children to the parents. So unless this only can refine ourselves to become a better man, better individual. It was well thought of, well worded, but the only part is it has not been given a trial for implementation. I will just read out the value. It covers everything, I tell you. Apart from giving a national feeling. It shall be the duty of every citizen of India. This is enshrined in the Constitution of India under Article 51A. It shall be the duty of every citizen of India, number one, to abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals and institutions, the national flag, the national anthem. Number two, to cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. Today we had been to Sardarji's, What? It is not a tourist attraction, sorry. It is a temple of worship. Though in 1947 August, we were declared as independent India, still we had about 600 and odd kingdoms. And it was he who united in 1.5 years' time. Should we not remember? Right from Panditji, right from Gandhiji, right from anybody, a galaxy of such priceless Mahatmas who led the free movement. Not only it was a freedom for India, it was a freedom from many of our old enslaving, orthodox, superstitious views. And Gandhiji gave us a wonderful, manual for our public life. He has touched upon almost all aspects of a refined life, because he was really a saint. He was a realized saint. In one of his talks he used to say, if someone were to tell me that I will realize God if I go to Himalayas, I would have gone. But then only I knew he is not beyond his creation. So to love his creation is to love him, to serve his creation is to serve him. So like that, today's generation, they may not have any idea about the galaxy of such illustrious people who not only led the freedom movement, who were morally, ethically leading a perfect life, a source of perennial inspiration for every one of us at all times. So the second one is to cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. Number three, to uphold and protect sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. Unknowingly, otherwise we isolate ourselves, either as an individual or as a community or as something else, some denomination we put, and we hardly think about the whole of Bharat. Number five, to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood amongst all the people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, regional, sectional diversities, to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women. Gandhiji was specific when he said he was dreaming a Ramarajya where at 12 o'clock midnight a lady should be able to freely move about in this world, in the street, where she feels absolutely safe. Because motherhood, that is what we always attribute. It has been given so much of importance in our country. So that is why specifically to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women. Number six, to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. So many are there. To protect and improve the natural environment including forests, lakes, rivers, wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures. To develop the scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform. That is how all these creature comforts have come. The science and technology is taking us to higher lights. So to tap out the maximum, God has given us this wonderful, inexhaustible energy. So that has been highlighted here. To develop scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform. Not to get stuck. To safeguard public property and to abjure violence. What a pitiable state through which we are going. Because we are not aware of this, We burn houses, we burn buses, we burn all public properties. To safeguard public property and abjure violence. Just imagine, suppose at the impressionable age, something of these things are imparted to the children as they grow, as they become of age, as they occupy power and position, as they enter into politics. This will be writ large in their minds. So it should start from first standard itself in some form. And then to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity, so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. Just imagine about the sincerity and the intensity of the framers of these words. In mid-70s, this was drafted, and by late 70s it became a part of the Constitution. Even after 50 years, I don't think many of us are aware of all these things, which has become a part of our life, not only a part of our personal life, part of our social life. Strive towards excellence. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita he says, dexterity in action, efficiency in action is yoga. And yoga means union with God. So towards excellence. Then, who is a parent or guardian to provide opportunities for education to his child or ward, as the case may be, between the age of 6 and 14 years. So these are the fundamental duties. Everything has been covered here beautifully. So when we started researching, why this has not been, in spite of the fact that the high-powered committee has strongly recommended to the government of India, why this is not included in the teachers' training colleges, why it is not introduced to the schools. We inferred that it could be due to because this is a subjective subject. So a methodology has to be evolved. Mere academic, suppose we give a lecture on humility or compassion, nobody will become compassionate. It is something inherent in us. All human values which come out in the form of duties are basically, intrinsically, essentially in us. All that is needed is to touch and kindle and bring it out. So the methodology is totally different from the academic exercise. There should be a different method by which all these things are touched and kindled. What to do? Instead of blaming the government, instead of blaming others, if we are really better to it, if we are really committed to this, we should try in our own way. Then our team of people sat for 3 to 4 years and started going from 6th standard to 10th standard. The 4 subjects: mathematics, science, social studies, language. Chapter by chapter they went through. We did not get any clue. We only know that there 45 minutes have been allotted for a period. If we encroach upon the period, there will be hue and cry. Even otherwise, portions are not being covered. So what to do now? So then after a lot of thinking, churning, it was found out that out of 45 minutes, let them take 43 minutes. Let them just set apart 2 minutes. And what do? In one chapter, when we go through that, the essence of it will be reflected in some incidents drawn in the contemporary field and connect up this incident. Episodes, incidents, anecdotes, they are the only one by which we can touch and kindle, not giving by lectures. During our interactions with the students, one day, we received an email. There was an earthquake in Ecuador. Vast destruction has taken place. Many parents have lost their children. Many children have lost their parents. Buildings have been demolished. Utter chaos. Nobody knew what to do. For the first couple of days, everything came to a standstill. Then some NGO thought, at least we will give some eatables. So they collected, you all know about it because in India it is something, even today it is still preserved. They collected biscuits, bread, fruits, so many things. And then they went to major cities. The moment they landed with a lot of baggages of this, people started crowding around and there will be total chaos, there is no orderliness. We can't blame them. For 2 days they have not eaten anything. So the organizers requested them to form a queue. Unless the queue is formed, it will be difficult for us to distribute. So with very heavy strain, the queue was formed. Each one was coming forward, they were giving whatever is available. Somebody may be getting bread or biscuit or fruit or something like that. One girl of 12 years old, she was also in the queue. Suddenly she saw, opposite to the place where the distribution was taking place, 3 young children, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Like this they were sitting. They did not know. They cannot even express. They have not had food. They don't know where their parents are. So this 12-year-old girl suddenly looked at this. And when her turn came, she got one banana, a lengthy banana. We call it in Kerala Nentraparam. I don't know what you call it here. It will be of this size. As soon as she got this, she put it into 3 pieces, went straight to those 3 children and gave them 1 each. And whatever that was available on the skin, she scooped like this and she ate. Somebody was kind enough to immediately spot out and he took a photograph and he gave a description of the whole thing and the email was sent. We were also one of the recipients of this. That girl did not think of me to me. This was the title. I forgot it. That is the cream. Today I saw the face of God. That was the title of the email. Today I saw the face of God. So when we share this with children, we will ask them, what does it mean? And the children will say, God stands for compassion. God stands for goodness. So these are all the types of anecdotes, We have plenty of a bank of such anecdotes. So then we try to knit this, weave this along with the text. And that is how elaborately it was done. And we made a representation to the NCERT and to the CBSE. They went through the whole thing and they said, yeah, it's wonderful, it should be implemented. But no further steps were taken. To many states, even in Gujarat, we came here about 10 years back and represented it to the government. Because we don't say that our methodology is foolproof, but at least we have made some headway and it can be improved. And we are not professionally, teachers. So people who are on that line, the government will be able to depute some experts on that and they will be able to do it. That is what exactly the Tamil Nadu government did. When we represented to the SCRT director, he appreciated, yes, this is what is needed for the children. Along with the academics, they should also equal. So just imagine, each period, each subject, every day, suppose there are about 6 periods, 6 anecdotes they will get. Even if you remember one anecdote, that will stay with them. Because it is not a tall talk, it is not a dictum or a dogma. It is something that had happened, that had touched and kindled, And that is how the whole system was developed. And because then late in because of Corona, we could not move further. Anyway, we have represented in some form, somewhere it is being tried. So on this platform, we request all the concerned people to give adequate attention to this. And from the Vital side, it has been named as Vital. Value integrated teaching and learning. We have even prepared a syllabus for B.Ed teachers, so that it will be easy for them. At the same time, it should not be boring. At the same time, it should not encroach upon their academics, because there will be hue and cry again. So considering all these limitations, we evolved and it was presented to a couple of universities in Kerala. In Kerala, the atmosphere is totally different, you might be knowing. It's a tough job. Especially when something is initiated from an ashram, a spiritual institution, it will not be accepted like that. They will always think that they add some color to it. So we did not pursue much. But everything has been made ready. Now it has to be improved. So we request this forum, anybody to come forward to kindly take it up and to see that these fundamental duties are ingrained in every child's mind. Because duty is not to be limited to the one category, one segment of the society. It covers the entire segments. But the growing generation, if they are made known, they will be able to easily impart. I will not say that the entire values have gone down in India. No. We have a lot of interactions with the students, teachers, parents. It is very much there. Not that it has gone. But we cannot be complacent. 2-3 days back, we came to know that India's population is going to outgrow China's. So that means our student, previously when we were working, our student population was about 20-30 crores. And the teachers' population was about 40-45 lakhs. It is not at all possible for any organization to reach out. Absolutely it cannot be done. Only by government it can be done. Then only it will become pan-India, It should spread everywhere simultaneously. Suppose you have some values, you are entering into a society where it is not given up importance, then naturally it will be disincentive for you. So there should be an overall, like our freedom movement, there should be an overall national level movement. Then only it will have its impact. So you may kindly do this much only we could do it, because we don't have such a big volunteer group to do that. But with our dedicated people, we were able to reach that much, and everything is available. Everything has been acknowledged by many of the universities, many of the governments. Yes, they have given in writing. I think you have put everything in the website. No, everything in the website it is there, open for all. All these examples, everything is open for all. Anybody can take it up. Anybody can improve it. Anybody can add, delete, modify anything. But this is the need of the hour. Being an institute, organization who has got a standing, who has got its own fixed ideals, if you take it up, it will help a long way in rebuilding the duty dimension in the minds of the growing children, in the teachers, and the society as well. And this is a spiritual journey. Though we don't call it a spiritual journey, it is purely a spiritual journey. If you go through the 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the last 7-8 slokas, the Bhagavan defines who is my dearest devotee. These are the fundamental duties. Adveshta sarvabhudanam maitra karuna yavaja. Nirmamo nirahankara samadukka sugakshami. Santushta satatam yogi yatatma dridhanishyaha mayyapita manobuddhihi yomad bhakta samepriya. So it starts from Adveshta sarvabhudanam. Malice towards none. Friendship towards all, maitra. Compassionate towards all, we read it out, no? Compassionate. Maitra karuna yavaja. Nirmamo. Not getting attached to the possessiveness. Possessions are needed for us, but possessiveness is something, that will harm us. Nirmamo nirahankar. That means the sense of agency, sense of enjoyership, sense of ownership, I take it. Actually, I know that when I came from mother's womb, I did not bring anything. There is nothing that I can claim of my own. Nirmamo nirahankar. Sama dukkha sukha kshami. Sama in dukkha and sukha. And shami, endurance. Santushtaha, always contented. Like that, the Lord defines. Whatever we have read now, it has come in a different picture, right? 5,000 years ago, the Lord has given us what is the fundamental duty. So, if we say Srimad Bhagavad Gita, there will be again hue and cry. But if you say constitutional values, okay. Because when we were intensely taking up value-based activities in many places, we had come to Gujarat many a times, Bombay, Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, many places. So ultimately when we went to NCRT sometime during early 2000, then the NCRT people said, who are you to define values? Tomorrow some other NGO may come and say these are all the values. So we asked, then you tell us what is the value. They said constitutional values, which is acceptable for all. Okay, we agree. And then we started working it up. That is how we were led to this constitution. Otherwise, we also would not have seen. We would have also, because nobody taught us. All these things came to be known to us only because of this. NCRT said constitutional values. Even that was not done by them. Even CBSE chairman, we had a long discussion. Many schools, they were enthused. They wanted us to share some thoughts with them. Then they used to call us, we used to go. Nowadays we have decided we will not go to any place. We will do whatever is possible. We will come forward and help any organization who will like to propagate this. And we want them to impress upon the government machinery to somehow see that the duties are given utmost importance, along with the rights. Only clamor of rights we hear, but hardly any word about duties. Today if we see, the plastic is thrown, if waste matter is thrown when nobody is there, it is because of the lack of duty in my mind. Not that I am bad. I have not been touched and kindled and made known. I always start thinking from me to me only, from this level. But you also have a me to me. I should be able to recognize your right. That is my duty. When we go to schools or colleges, when we try to make them know what exactly is his duty, we request two children to walk on the same thing. So they will come like this. And then what happens? Either I have to give way, otherwise what will happen? Clash. So if both hold on to their rights, it will be a clash. But suppose you accept the right of another person and you give way, he goes. It's a simple thing. So when we start recognizing the rights of others, it automatically we start recognizing the duties of others towards them. And it percolates to entire systems, and definitely it will help us all in our speedy spiritual progress, where our Gurudev used to say, what is the ideal of Anandashram is universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity in everybody. That which is common in every one of us. Like the life force, which is common in all of us. All of us can easily understand that. The heart beats. Yesterday we were sharing. One doctor has made elaborate research and brought out this. 1 lakh times the heart beats in a day. Do we know that? 6 liters of blood are pumped and taken 1,20,000 kilometers in a day in our body. 1.2 millions of red blood cells are born, for the equal number of cells die every second. When we breathe, the oxygen is taken in and excess of carbon dioxide is purged out. When we take our food, what is needed for our blood, what is needed for our bone, what is needed for our body structure is split and taken. A wonderful factory is going on, and whatever is not needed, it is purged out in the form of stools and urine. We are not doing anything. That power is called life. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu. I am the life principle in everything. I am the intelligence in everything. I am the ultimate bija of everybody. Bijam mam sarvabhutanam. So the Gurudev said, love, universal love and service based upon the vision of divinity in everybody. So when we develop this, not only you become an Uttama Bhakta, you become an Uttama citizen. Not only you become an Uttama citizen, you also become an Uttama Bhakta. So these two should go hand in hand. There is no divide between spiritual and worldly. Spirit is within us. Whether we recognize it or not, whether we know it or not, whether we adore Him or not, whether we worship Him or not, whether we deny Him or not, He is still with us in the form of life, in the form of awareness, in the form of intelligence. So duties are nothing but spirituality in a different form. So we would request again and again all the concerned people here to do some more research on this. Whatever is to be more shared, we are always prepared to share. And when the moment he said you share something about values, we were very, very happy, because it is something applied spirituality. It is not a textual knowledge that we are keeping in our brain and sharing it under what is called discourses or upadesh. But this is something practical. Every moment of our life. And duties come out in the form of a touch of love, a touch of perfection, a touch of dedication, a touch of gratitude. And we will slowly start realizing that Nobody is irrelevant, nobody is unimportant, nobody is insignificant. Nothing is unimportant, nothing is insignificant, nothing is irrelevant. This is how we try to widen our circle from me to we and we to him. So ultimately, duties which have been enshrined in our constitution, if we can make it known to as many people as possible, through as many forums as possible, through as many methods as possible, it will be a great, spiritual journey for all of us. Ultimately, this is what we can pay back to the Creator who has given us everything, who has been giving us everything. Thank you all very much. Hari Om.